Nigri ni Mwanzo. Go is the beginning. In the name of she, capital S, capital H, capital I. Man, Adam called son, Eshu, mother, nature, mother, earth. In the name of the true begotten son, Matthew 123. Emmanuel, Imanuel, whose name means God with us. In the name of the true motherland, Nigritia, Nigiria, which means land of the gods. Kunta Kinte, Kiswahili, Tower of Babel, man's first tongue. Amani kutoka you. Peace from above. How you doing? Good to see. Good to be here. Today, Wednesday, hump day. The Book of Life. Kitabu Cha. Uzima. Reading from the New Testament of Emmanuel. Agano. Yipya. Ya. Emmanuel. The New Testament of Emmanuel. Agano. Yipya. Ya. Emmanuel. Luke chapter 20. Now it happened on one of those days as he taught the people in the temple and preached and taught the gospel that the chief priests and the scribes together with the elders confronted him and spoke to him saying, tell us, by what authority are you doing these things? Or who is he who gave you this authority? But he answered and said to them, I also will ask you one thing, and answer me. The baptism of John, was it from heaven or from men? And they reasoned among themselves, saying, if we say from heaven, he will say, why then did you not believe him? But if we say from men, all the people will stone us, for they are persuaded that John was a prophet. So they answered that they did not know where it was from. And Emmanuel said to them, neither will I tell you by what authority I do these things. Then he began to tell the people this parable. A certain man planted a vineyard, leased it to vine dressers, and went into a far country for a long time. Now at vintage time, he sent a servant to the vine dressers, that they might give him some of the fruit of the vineyard. But the vine dressers beat him and sent him away empty handed. Again, he sent another servant, and they beat him also, treated him shamefully, and sent him away empty handed. And again, he sent a third, and they wounded him also and cast him out. Then the owner of the vineyard said, what shall I do? I will send my beloved son. Probably they will respect him when they see him. But when the vine dressers saw him, they reasoned among themselves, saying, this is the heir. Come, let us kill him, that the inheritance may be ours. So they cast him out of the vineyard and killed him. Therefore, what will the owner of the vineyard do to them? He will come and destroy those vine dressers, and give a vineyard to others. And when they heard it, they said, certainly not. Then he looked at them and said, What then is this that is written? The stone which the builders rejected has become the chief cornerstone. Whoever falls on that stone will be broken, but on whoever it falls, it will grind him to powder. And the chief priests and the scribes that very hour sought to lay hands on him, but they feared the people, for they knew he had spoken this parable against them. So they watched him and sent spies who pretended to be righteous, that they might seize on his words in order to deliver him to the power and authority of the governor. Then they asked him, saying, Teacher, we know that you say and teach rightly, and you do not show personal favoritism, but teach the way of gold in truth. There it is again, 21. Teacher, not preacher, teacher. Is it lawful for us to pay taxes to Caesar or not? But he perceived their craftiness and said to them, Why do you test me? Show me a denarius. Whose image and inspiration does it have? They answered and said, Caesar's. Some Caesar's. And he said to them, Render therefore to Caesar the things that are Caesar's, and to gold the things that are gold. But they could not catch him in his words in the presence of the people, and they marveled at his answer and kept silent. Then some of the Sadducees, who denied that there is a resurrection, came to him and asked him, saying, Teacher, Moses wrote to us that if a man's brother dies having a wife, and he dies without children, his brother should take his wife and raise up offspring for his brother. Now there were 7 brothers, and the first took a wife and died without children. And the second took her as wife, and he died childless. Then the third took her, and in like manner the 7 also, and they left no children and died. Last of all, the woman died also. Therefore, in the resurrection, whose wife does she become? For all 7 had her as wife. Emmanuel answered and said to them, The sons of this age marry and are given in marriage, but those who are counted worthy to attain that age and this resurrection from the dead neither marry nor are given in marriage, nor can they die anymore, for they are equal to the angels and are sons of gold, being sons of the resurrection. But even Moses showed in the burning bush passage that the dead are raised when he called the God of Abraham, the God of Isaac, and the God of Jacob. For he is not the God of the dead, but of the living, for all live to him. Then some of the scribes answered and said, Teacher, you have spoken well. But after that, they dared not question him anymore. And he said to them, How can they say that Emmanuel is the son of David? Now David himself said in the book of Psalms, The God said to my God, Sit at my right hand, till I make your enemies your footstool. Therefore, David calls him, wait a minute. Now David, he said in the book of Psalms, the teacher, hmm, said in the book of Psalms, the God said to my God, sit at my right hand till I make your enemies your footstool. Therefore, David calls him teacher, son. Therefore, David calls him son. How is he then his son? Then, in the hearing of all the people, he said to his disciples, Beware the scribes who desire to go around in long robes, love greetings in the marketplace, the best seats in the synagogues, and the best places at feasts, who devour widows' houses, and for a pretense make long prayers. These will receive greater condemnation. Hmm. Now, David said in the book of Psalms, the teacher The God said to my God. The God said to my brother, sit at my right hand. The God said to my son, said to my son, sit at my right hand. Therefore David calls him son. How is he then his son? That's interesting. Luke 8, chapter 20. Now, first chapter, he taught the people in the temple and teached the gospel, not preached the gospel, teached the gospel, because he is not a preacher. Once again, chapter 20, verse 1, and teached the gospel, not preached the gospel. Because as you can see over here, verse 21, teacher, we know that you say and teach rightly. Teacher. Verse 28, saying, teacher, Moses wrote to us. Teacher. Again, he said, teacher. 39, again, teacher, you have spoken well. Again, teacher, not preacher. That's why whenever I see preacher, I immediately get rid of that word and replace it with what Imanuel was and is, and that is a teacher. Just like when it says the Lord said to my Lord, no, the God said to my son, sit at my right hand till I make your enemies your footstool. The God said to my son, therefore David calls him son. How is he then his son? Easy. Because of the understanding, just like David is my father, but he's not my father. But he is my father. But he's not. He's my son, but he's not my son. How can I call him my son? Through God of goals. Easy. I believe in God of goals. And he's teaching me that David is my father. He's my brother. And he is my son as well, because in order to believe in God of goals, you have to learn how to look down at those who came before you and rationalize and realize that your bloodline, one more time, where does it say? What did he say? Just like these people running around talking about the day of the dead. Keep on believing in that. Chapter verse 38. For he is not the God of the dead, but of the living, for all live to him. One more time. The God of Abraham, the God of Isaac, and the God of Jacob, and the God of Noah. The first covenant, Noah. I will place this rainbow in the sky as a covenant between me and man. Me and men, not kind. Man and men, not kind. I will not drown them again. His first covenant with man, Noah. One more time. But see, they don't put it in here because just like the very first verse talking about a preacher, but as you read, teacher, teacher, teacher. So one more time, I'm gonna do my job. You see right there for yourself where it's calling him teacher. It started with him being a preacher, which he's not. He's a teacher, period. His job is to teach. That's it. And that's all. One more time. And I got a little confused when it came to verse 42, because it's got the Lord said to my Lord. No, no, gold of gold spoke about his begotten son sit at my right hand. Therefore, David calls him son. How is he then his son? Wait a minute. Therefore, David calls him brother. Brother, yeah. David would call him brother. How then? How is he then his son? Yeah. Therefore, David calls him brother. Yes. The God said to my brother, sit at my right hand till I make your enemies your footstool. Therefore, David calls him brother. How is he then his son? Okay, yeah, there it is. Now, David himself said in the book of Psalms, the God said to my brother, sit at my right hand till I make your enemies your footstools. Therefore, David calls him brother. How is he then his son? Teacher. Just keep in mind the teacher. Keep in mind that goal of gold is not about the dead. One more time. But everybody keep talking about resurrection, 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 resurrection. What are you talking about? Gold of gold said, I am of the living, not the dead. So it's up to you. You can be a believer of the teachers, or you can be a believer of the you can be a believer of preachers or a believer of teachers. I believe in teachers because teachers teach. They do their job. They teach those who seek it. Go to gold. I am a teacher. I am teach knowledge. Capital K, capital N, capital O, capital W. Baby L, baby E, baby D, baby G, baby E. Knowledge. Because knowledge is knowing what you see and that which you see that where they're trying to deceive you, you are able to replace that. Just like just like the first verses he's preaching, but when you get into the book, that word is never brought up again. But most people gonna remember preaching, stick preacher in their brain, and they gonna forget about teacher, teacher, teacher. 3 times teacher shows up, but they gonna overrule teacher with preacher. Not when you read the book of life. When you read this, knowledge from God goes to me, and I pass it on to thee. One more time. As always, Asante Sana, thank you very much. Mojo Kubenda, one love, Baraka, blessings. Trip C's, Cool Calm Collected, www, whole wide world. Ni Mawanzo. War is the beginning. In the name of she, capital S, capital H, capital I, who man, Adam called son, S-U-N, mother, nature, mother, earth. In the name of the true begotten son, Emmanuel, I-M-A-N-U-E-L, whose name may go with us, Matthew 1:23. In the name of the true motherland, Nigeritia, N-I-G-R-I-T-I-A, which means land of the gods. Kiswahili, Kutakinte, Tower of Babel. God of goals took my forefathers' tongue, for no labor has the power to overrule my forefathers. Not one of them can they overrule. Amani, kutoka you, peace from above. Enjoy. Yo, hump day.